Bonnie, when I forwarded, did you get bills? You need to send it to Mary?
Just look at them. Probably should have put your arm in it. Just took it off. That's a good idea.
What's wrong?
This writing down the line.
That's what they all knew about. Mary.
I think we have a lot of lost people here. I'll text you too. But
Here's the other one.
Just have public hearings, council package, and council package.
We'll see what shows up. Refresh your screen in a minute. Yeah, they told me exactly what's going on.
are you coming back from the Puntland or what?
Well, I see.
How are you? You know they told
I saw a picture of Scott at the
you gotta go clean
hotel.
your beer. She didn't drop anything off in my yard. That used to carry on the
With your mother and
control.
your wife.
Those will blow away too fast. That's just forks and stuff.
I believe you would.
When are you meeting up with my son? When are you meeting up with my son? You wouldn't tell me anyways.
Love that laugh. That says everything.
Hopefully it's soon. It's like Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully Thanksgiving.
Okay, folks, we'll bring the meeting to order with the stand up pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We have some meeting minutes to approve. First, we'll need to approve the minutes of our October 24th, 2016 regularly scheduled council meeting.
Make that motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Steph, seconded by Mary. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Our October 31st, 2016, that was our special council meeting. Any additions or corrections? If not,
I'll make that motion to accept it.
motion on the floor by Dunn. Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Agenda this evening.
We need to up
Essentia Health.
Essentia Health to the top of the list there, please.
Do not have any building permit applications for school.
Nope.
No.
Any other additions or corrections to the agenda? If not, I need a motion to approve.
To approve them as changed.
And I'll second.
Motion on the floor by Mary and second by Stephanie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. First item on the agenda then, Essentia Health.
Up to you. Okay. All right.
Chief, and we have Collette. Is that Collette Larsen?
Yeah.
From Essentia Health. Hi, Collette.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Welcome. You guys kind of want to explain to the public what we have going on?
You are. There you go, Mayor.
I wrote a community health grant for the city of Pierz for a defibrillator and a Mustang rescue suit for Officer Lowshiner's squad car. Ms. Larsen brought the defibrillator tonight. The Mustang suit is coming probably towards the end of the week, but we awarded both, and she's delivering an 80 to the city of Pierz for Mr. Lowshiner's squad car. So it's a great program. Essentia Health has been great to the city of Pierz, and we're lucky that we were awarded the $2,700 worth of supplies for the squad car. So
Eric, do you want to explain what this suit is all about, what that is?
the Mustang suit's just something that the fire department carries. We have one in our other squad car. It can be used in river rescues, cold weather rescues, anytime there's got to be a water rescue. It's a huge flotation device that keeps you warm, keeps you safe, and it's just something that, with the rivers, the lakes that we have here, it's a great resource for our department to have.
Very good.
So I want to thank Collette, appreciate you bringing it down and giving it to the city of Pierz.
You're welcome.
Collette, on behalf of the city, police department, city council, I'd like to say thank you very much for your donation.
You're welcome.
Essentia Health is truly been a partner with the city of Pierz, not only throughout this, but the new clinic coming in, so we greatly appreciate everything you guys are doing.
I'm also in the high school. I will tell you that some of you parents who might have 8th graders or have had 8th graders back until 2010, I've been in the health classes. I come every year and I teach all the health students CPR. They get to learn how to operate an AED hands-on. If you got CPR mannequins that came home to your house in a little box and they were made to train, they were supposed to train their family members in CPR, and then they brought those numbers back to me. So a large portion of your community is already CPR trained because of that. And that's all free. It's from Essentia.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We will need a motion to accept the grant from Essentia Health.
I make that motion to accept the grant from Essentia Health for the police department.
Second it.
Motion on the floor from Stephanie and second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you once again. We had a public hearing before our regularly scheduled meeting here this evening, and it was election canvassing results. We do have a resolution that Mary is going to have to read, and the city will have to approve it. Did you get a copy of that resolution in your notes? Or with your, I know you had a hard time getting your, as did I, all the emails coming in our
Oh,
council
hang on,
agenda.
where's my kid? No, that's not.
I did get that page.
Okay. Resolution of the City of Pierz, resolution number 111-42016-01, election results. Be it resolved, the 2016 Pierz City election results from November 8th, 2016 are as follows. Number of registered voters in Pierz prior to polls opening, 728. Number of registered voters after polls closing, 852. Number of ballots cast for city election, 840. The election results, Pierz Mayor Toby Egan, 599 votes, which gives him 94.33%. Write-in votes were 36 with 5.67%. Pierz Council Member Kyle Bednar, 383 votes, 58.56%. Don Bajelski, 268 votes, 40.98%. Write-in 3 votes at 0.46%. Pierz City Clerk Dave Fisher, 608 votes, giving him 98.86%. Write-in votes, 7 votes, 1.14%.
Heard the reading of the resolution. We will need a motion to accept.
I'll make that motion.
Motion on the floor by Donnie,
I'll second.
second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried unanimously. Next on the agenda, we have Great River Library representative, Karen Pundsack, I'm sorry. And that's to discuss the agreement and the updates with Great River. Please, come on up.
Thank you. People in the room. Open fun about the agreement. Yeah, you're in trouble now. I'm happy to introduce myself. I'm Karen Pundsack. I am the Executive Director for Great River Regional Library. I've been there for about a year and a half now in that role. I've worked for Great River since 1999. And part of what Great River's work has done this year is do an assessment of all the library facilities and update, one of our initiatives is to update the agreement with all of the cities that have a library. So Great River is a 6-county system with 32 libraries total. Morrison County has 5, and I'm happy to see Nicole here. She's served on the county level for quite a while, so it's nice to see her step into a larger role at the city. Good choice. So the branch agreement that is in your documents today was the one that was passed by the board in July, part of this larger assessment. And the goal is to standardize the branch agreement across all 32 libraries in the system. We currently have 17 different versions of the agreement, some passed in 1985, yours was probably the most recent, signed in 2010. The agreement is a revision of what you currently have in place, but it's not a substantial change. It clarifies some of the rules. After the board passed this agreement, we sent letters out to all of the cities asking that the agreements be passed by December. We had several cities respond saying they'd like to see revisions to the agreement. So we actually had a meeting October 20th. Nicole was in attendance there. And we discussed some potential revisions to the document that's in your packets today. The Great River Board will meet to discuss those revised suggested revisions tomorrow night. So they haven't officially been passed by the Great River Board yet. But we're hopeful that the board will pass it tomorrow night and then extend the timeline for cities to approve that new agreement. So know that currently what the city of Pierz has been asked to do is pass the revision that's in your packet that was passed in July by December. But I'm here to tell you tonight that it might be more prudent to hold off and just see what happens tomorrow at the Great River Board meeting and move forward from that point. So I'd be happy to provide more background. It looks like you have a pretty full agenda tonight, so I don't want to take
Yeah,
too
I
much
mean,
of
I
your
think the
time.
questions we had after talking with Nicole were the same questions that other cities also had. And it sounds like those are being addressed with the updated agreement that you're going to be presenting to your board tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're on the right track. I guess we'll wait and see what comes out of that board meeting, and we'll go from there. But it sounds like, I guess, Nicole, you maybe want to comment on that as well.
At the meeting, there was quite a few cities that had some issues, but Great River addressed pretty much all of them, so just kind of moving forward and waiting for their board to approve it, and we can move forward with it as well. But I just wanted her to give a little bit more background and.
Oh, absolutely. No, we appreciate you guys coming in and giving us an update, so.
Yeah, Pierz is a great city, library supporting city, and you've got Grace here who does a nice job with the rest of her staff. And it looks like circulation is continuing to increase. One of the things that we identified in the facility assessment here was that we might want to look at adding an express checkout so that staff wouldn't have to spend so much time checking things out, and that would give them potentially more time to help people one-on-one. And maybe someday add a couple of open hours back to the schedule if the increased usage continues. So know that that's part of the library assessment that was passed. If you want the full document, it's like 89 pages, and we'd be happy to provide it to you.
We're fortunate to have a nice library in town. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your support. Pierz is a great upcoming city, and it's great to be partners with you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate it.
No problem. I'm happy to be back anytime.
We have some members from the Pierz Healy High for the community toy drive presentation here. Hi.
Hi, I was hoping my students would show up, but they're not here. So my name is Amy Jindra. I am the advisor for the Minnesota Honor Society at the high school. And so I have two junior students, Kelsie, Stuckmayer, and Kimman. And they, this year, are taking over the toy drive originally from BPA. And so as a part of this project in the past, they have always put out donation containers at the local businesses. And so we are just requesting that permission again to put out their canisters to collect some funds with all of the money going towards the community toy drive.
I can say it's a wonderful thing that you guys do for the community. One other thing we have done in the past that I'm not sure if you guys are looking for would provide some storage for those gifts. Otremba, our public works supervisor, is here, and I know he has also been pretty active in help us supply that, giving you guys whatever hand you need. Is that
How
something
many
you
fire
guys-
department?
Fire department as well, as far as handing out the stuff, because it's been a really nice event. So I'm not sure if you guys are looking for that storage space again this year.
Well, as somebody who is taking it over brand new from, so I don't have a lot of experience with it, so I'll
Okay.
be looking for guidance from Michelle Ferguson and Denise Rupert
Sure.
from the elementary.
Sure.
And so I just am taking cues from them this year. So
Okay.
once I gain some experience, then I'll be able to.
Well, yeah, I guess if you need the storage, I guess I don't see any issues with providing that again this year unless it comes with.
Their robot.
Actually, I think Chris maybe does a lot of that stuff anyway. I never really stored any toys, just the day of setup.
Yeah.
We already stored at the school.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, over at the
Go over there
elementary.
with a trailer in the morning, I'll take it to the city shop and then they distribute it.
Oh, from the city shop. Okay.
Yep, and that is planned for December 15th, Thursday, December 15th, the distribution date. So we would have the funds collected well in advance of that.
Well, we will need a motion from the council approving them to put collection jars out within the city.
I move for the school to collection jars out for the closure, right?
Motion on the floor.
Second that.
Second, Stephanie, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much for everything you guys do. We have an NJPA annual board election nominations. I know we have somebody here from NJPA.
I didn't know that was on the agenda.
We may even have two people here from NJPA.
Sorry, guys, should we dress better?
Pictures.
No, thank you.
Sure, so we just,
Talk a little bit about it.
yeah, we received a letter asking if anybody was interested in being on NJPA membership board as a member. So if somebody would want to be part of it, we can nominate them and then we can go through the process of applying for it and,
Okay.
we don't have to do any further action, it's just for right now, just to think about it. Or
Okay.
or if somebody's interested right now, we can.
Okay. Well, I think it's, council members should definitely think about it and take interest in it. I know that NJPA has turned out, in my opinion, to be an extremely valuable resource for cities and counties.
Is that joint colors?
Yeah, it's really a neat deal. And, yeah, it'd be fun to be a part of that, so, yeah, they should take that into consideration.
I think Mike Wilson, Commissioner,
Yep.
your district is also on it too, so.
Yep.
It's just something to think about.
Yeah, we should go back to that. My apologies, but under awards, we had an apple pie award.
Yes.
I believe our seniors
Yes,
were
the
recognized.
Lutheran Social Services Senior Nutrition Program, actually over here at the senior center, were awarded with a pie award, and then they also got an apple pie, so we have plenty in the office over there, so please help yourself, anybody, so I don't have to eat it.
So thanks to our seniors for doing
Yeah.
a good job with the senior center. Do I get to retire or what?
Hello. Come on. There's lots of them. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wow. Head around. Come on over. There's room back over here.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, guys. Come on. We might be able
Eric, just for your information, we're not giving you an early retirement.
My name wasn't on the ballot, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Won't quote that, Terry.
Too late. I was gonna ask that the council scoot in a little bit. Eric Hanneken, could you please come to the center?
I'm good right here.
It's a really neat day for the city of Pierz. It's also a very, very gracious day for the city council, the residents of the city of Pierz, and I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on for some of you folks that may not know. We are presenting Eric this evening with what I believe is the city of Pierz's most highest and distinguished honor, which is a life-saving award. This award is in recognition of Chief Eric Hanneken for his performance in the saving of human life. On September 9, 2016, Chief Hanneken responded to a report of a house fire in Pierz Township. Upon arrival, he found that 2 residents of the home were trapped. He courageously took the initiative to rescue both individuals. The city of Pierz is very proud of his actions and hereby awards him with this life-saving award.
You're not done.
Along with that, Chief, we would like to present you, the City Council, with this medal. And wear it proudly.
Very cool.
Thank you so very much for everything you've done.
No, I'm a city. I'll say thank you very, very much. I got a great council that I get to answer to. Yes, at times we wonder which direction we're both going, but on the same end, Pierz is lucky to have what we have here in the city of Pierz. You see many other uniforms sitting over here, and every one of these would have done the same thing I did that day. We're blessed with some very respected senior law enforcement in this community, and we're very lucky to have what we have in Eastern Morrison County, so it's thank you to my family, wife and girls. The support's great. I'll say this out loud here, you can put in a record, law enforcement is a career that I would tell anybody to go into anymore because of the wrath, the hardship that is put on to the badge and the uniform. It's a stressful job for each and every one of us, and I know I can count on without looking to my left, Doug, Hasty, Danny, Joel, J-Lo, you got too much time left. We all look to when we get to actually walk away from this job with our 2 legs and just be able to remove ourselves from this career. That's me, but I enjoy working for Pierz. I enjoy this uniform, and thank you to the support that I have here that I'm here, so thank you.
Thanks, Eric. I think the city council and the city can attest we're very fortunate to have a man like Eric running the show here in Pierz. So, thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Mayor. So these funny-looking people all can leave here now?
No, actually, the manager, they have to stay until we open the door back up.
Thank you, Joel.
Thanks again to your sheriff's department for your guys' support here this evening. Greatly appreciated. From the Pierz Fire Department, we have Assistant Chief Chris Young. Thanks, Chris, for coming and representing the fire department. We also thank the family of Eric and for showing up this evening. You made this event very special for me, and I'm sure for the city council. We have some friends of Eric's who have come quite a ways. Anna Grouper, our former city administrator, is here. She made the trip for this, so thank you all so very much. With that, we will move on to much less important things.
Can we at least give you a hug?
Right here for a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Franny, thanks for coming. Franny. Thanks for everything.
The law enforcement family here, I'm just happy that it stayed under wraps. Eric was pretty surprised. I said, I didn't know how we were gonna keep it from him.
Thanks, buddy. Yep. See you, Snuggles. Easy to see you. Thank you. Hey, keep them in mind.
We might as well go right to, you guys want to break the brickyard?
Whatever you do.
If you do.
Okay. We will go to Brickyard Bar and Banquet Hall, 2 a.m. license renewal.
Judy, you wanna come up?
Good evening, you guys.
Want me to start?
Yeah, if you want, you can go ahead.
The 2 o'clock renewal has come up for renewal, and doing my homework, I've gone through the instances referenced to the brickyard, and I've sat down and talked to Don and Judy, both reference to this, and it's, I don't mean to be an enemy here whatsoever, but it's my opinion to the council that I recommend the 2 o'clock license be pulled and no longer utilized in the city of Pierz. And the reason I say this is, I gave you both all a copy. From the beginning of this year to today's date, we've had a total of 20 total incidences involved at the brickyard. And yes, they're not all inside the brickyard, but it's something to do coming or going from the brickyard. With those incidents, we have 16 have been after that 1:30 a.m. And to me, it's generated a lot of workload for the city of Pierz, for the police department. It's just my opinion, I have to answer to 1,391 taxpayers of this community. I believe I owe the city an apology myself for allowing it to get to where it's gotten, where I have not done my homework. I didn't think there's this many calls on there, but by looking at this, I believe the city needs to do something. And I'll go back to what we did with the rental ordinances. We had problems with the rental ordinances. We went in and fixed the problem to make them more accountable, and that's worked. And I think this is what I have to do, reference to 2 o'clock license.
Have you seen this?
No, we haven't seen nothing.
This is a copy of incident reports from January 18th to date, November 1st, excuse me.
Okay,
Some of these types of calls are a little.
here we go. Vehicle damage while parked out front, damage to property. And I'm probably referring this to Rachel Mauer. This vehicle.
Yep.
This happened at 11 o'clock, this did not happen at 1:30. This happened at 11 o'clock.
But we got the call at 1:30?
Go to, because
The
that's,
next day.
well, I was told it was after 1:30, Don.
No,
That's
it
going
wasn't.
off- That's going off the ICR.
No,
Go to the next one.
no headlights on leaving after the bar. So,
Intoxicated.
that's my fault.
It's not your fault, Donnie. But look at the time. No, that one there is early, 1:20. Look at the other ones. 1:30, Donnie. I have to answer to a lot of taxpayers in this community that are grumbling.
1:30, so this is not 2 o'clock. This could be at 1 o'clock, and they're just leaving 1:30.
Okay, that's fine.
And damage to the ballroom, maybe it happened, maybe they had a wedding at the ballroom.
But they shut down at 11 o'clock.
I interviewed Donnie. He came from your bar, Donnie. We put donuts in front of the ballroom and drove right into the ballroom.
Okay, show off. Sports cars showing off in the main street for a crowd in the patio.
Yep. You know who that was?
No, I don't.
I'm looking at some of these, and some of these are kind of disturbing. Damage to property, kicked out of rooster located at the brickyard, hot rodding on Main Street, report of minors drinking, theft, large crowd outside, open container, large crowd outside, intoxication, female, or damage to property, damage to property, damage to property, damage to property. I mean, what's everybody?
Damage to property, why is this, all this happens at 1:30? Can I ask you this? When Mike Menon was there at the time,
Gutters got damaged.
gutters got damaged.
Gutters, it didn't go from the gutters down, it went from gutters to an elderly gentleman's flagpole in Robert Street got ripped in half, to a railing that got ripped off the cement, to a light being punched out at Shana's
But that
apartments.
happens at 2 o'clock, that he gets suspended for this?
That happened after they left your bar intoxicated, Donnie.
So you tell me they never left Patrick's or the Rooster or?
I have to agree with you, Donnie. Now, here's my take on everything. We go way back, you were awarded or given a 2 a.m. license. At that time, you had competition down the road that was open to 2 a.m. And I believed at that time the council did a good thing. We
Yeah.
and Eric agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, how I look at it, I agree with you, Donnie. Some of this stuff could come from any other of the bars or the ballroom or anything. Time really doesn't matter to me. What I think now is there is no competition close by that has 2 a.m. license. I don't know how the other council members, but I get a lot of feedback. And it doesn't matter if it's Patrick's or the Brickyard uptown. We have apartments around all of these establishments. And in my opinion, I don't want to take business away from you or control things in town. But you know what? On this one, I agree that we needed at that time when we gave you a 2 a.m. to put you on an even playing field with your competition. Right now, there is no 1 a.m. anywhere else, or 2 a.m. So I'd be in favor of going back to 1 a.m. I'm just one person, I don't know.
And mine, Donnie, you can mention any other bars. I don't have this type of ICRs for people coming into my house, just like this last one. Last one you had the music in the bar. Somebody comes into my office and complains about the loud music, Donnie. How am I supposed to answer it, and how am I supposed to keep them happy? I understand that they might live close to your bar, but how am I supposed to give the residents of that block across the street next to you, how am I supposed to answer them that I'm doing my job when people are coming in and chewing my butt the way you're treating me now, Donnie? I'm trying to answer to the people and do what's right for me. And no different than rental ordinances. I did not tolerate this with all the rental property. They get 3 strikes and we can cite the owners, Donnie. I've been very compliant. I've sat down with you guys. I've asked you to try and police it and clean up what you can clean up yourselves,
We
right?
did.
Right?
We took the benches outside. Is there anybody outside anymore?
The benches were just taken out when? Within
About a month ago.
Since we talked 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. So not a month, but 2 weeks ago. That was brought up in our meeting when we met here at 10:30. So to me, if there's just, it's putting too much pressure, not pressure on me. I can handle the pressure, but I'm sick of being the one to get my tail chewed because of what's going on. Not inside your bar, but Donnie, we talked about it. At 2 o'clock, people are leaving the other bars. Where do they want to come to?
At 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock, where do they want to come to, Donnie? Anything after 1 o'clock, and Judy, you both can testify, people come there to get more alcohol, and it's just gonna lead to what? What good is coming out of having a license from 1 to 2? Me, there is no good that's coming out of it anymore, period. And like I said, Donnie, you can go to the rental properties. I'm the one that asked the city council to change the rental properties because of the riffraff that was coming and going, and there's no standards. I'm the one that requested from Royalton to go after their ordinances so I can hold people accountable and make sure that everybody along Main Street within the city can live peaceful, and I don't have to get my ass chewed, excuse my French, get my tail chewed because of what's going on in these bars. And for me I don't have a problem at Brickyard, I don't have a problem at Patrick's. So is it the 2 o'clock license? I would say yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, I guess, I don't want to see any business going away here, but we're generating this many ICRs, and I've heard comments from folks who live in the area, whether it be across the street or next to. They aren't overly happy with the 2 a.m. license because of the late hours, I guess. us is kind of what the way I get it. So I mean, if the chief is recommending that we don't renew the 2 AM, I would definitely have to go with that.
I don't think we should use the excuse though of the rental of the, apartments or whatever, because Main Street is commercial. My mother used to live across Main Street. She was deaf. She couldn't hear anything going on. But when she had relatives or family stay there and say, geez, how can you sleep with that? Well, it's just the way it is. You're on Main Street and it's commercial. So that shouldn't come into play. And you don't have bands there that often, do you?
No.
That you're social people outside of the noisy ones. You have to deal with it.
I just know when I look at, the amount of damage to somebody else's property, I look at the, things of that nature. I don't know, I don't know how we as a city can condone other people's rights of having some peace and quiet and at a certain time and their properties being damaged. I don't know how we justify that as a city council. I can't justify it.
Yeah, and I can see people going out and drinking at the other bars. And half the problem is when they're done there, and if they're
They come to yours.
half in the bag and they're coming to Donnie's, they might not even have a drink at Donnie's, but yet that gives them the place to stop, and the alcohol keeps taking more effect, and then when they go outside, they think they have to do.
The old 10-foot tall and bulletproof thing.
You look at some of the stuff and that's what happens, so not always it might not be Donnie's fault, but because they're stopping there, because that is the only
Well, yeah,
place
it's
for
just
that,
that's the avenue. It's not anything personal from Donnie and Judy. That's got nothing to do with it. It looks to me like it's kind of the result of the 2 AM license, not because of you folks personal.
No, and I totally agree. Donnie and Judy we've talked about this. They've tried to clean it up. To me, they can say that I've been in that bar. Yes, I have off duty, because they were a sponsor of last trip. They're great sponsors. They're great people. But the problem is, I have to answer to the other ones. And they've tried to keep their people off the sidewalk, but they have their own ears. There's liquor out there all the time. It's like you said,
But the liquor is coming from the other bars. That's the whole problem. If the sheriffs would clean up their acts and go to the other bars all the time, instead of people driving with drinks in their hands, coming from the Rooster, because every time they come to my place, I have them dump it out.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. And no, Donnie, it's like I said, it's not because of you folks, it's because, in my opinion anyway, it's a result of the 2 AM.
Yeah,
it is absolutely.
that's fine.
When is this license up for renewal?
December.
12.
12th, next month.
Like I said, that's my recommendation to the council. What you guys want to move forward with this, it's up to you.
I think we had this discussion last year, and you wanted to give it another year of working with Donnie and Judy, and we're at that year, so we have to make the decision.
Well, is there any other comments? Any other comments? I guess because of the recommendation, of the police chief, I'll call for a vote to not renew the 2 AM license in the Brickyard for this next upcoming year.
What about any other bar?
They don't have a 2 AM license.
What if they apply?
Well, if we take away the 2 AM, we take it away citywide, because right now.
And that would be my recommendation, Judy, once it goes, I will
Because like I said,
not
it's
stand
not-
behind another one to go
Yeah.
through what we put.
Because
what we dealt with already.
it's not you guys, it's a result of the 2 AM license. So issuing somebody else another 2 AM license is not the answer.
I think the 2 AM ordinance we would have a vote eventually to eliminate the 2 AM ordinance altogether.
Yeah.
Nicole could speak about that with the lawyer. He actually mentioned that would be our next move if we want to do it right, to ask for an amendment on the ordinance to get rid of the 2 o'clock period, so nobody can request them to have another bar, have a 2 o'clock and compete with you guys down here, Judy.
So I'm calling for a
It really
motion.
isn't your
No, it's not got nothing to do with these
Everywhere
folks.
else,
It's a result of the license.
Right.
You know, it's just, it's not that I don't believe these folks are trying to keep people in an orderly fashion. I don't believe that's the case at all. I mean, I've been in your guys' establishment many times. I've been there till 2 o'clock a few different times. I think inside the bar, you guys do an excellent job. I've never seen any problems there. I've never seen minors drinking there. I've never seen any of that. But unfortunately, when the crowd leaves or leaves any of the bars, but in this case, you know, we're talking about after 2 a.m. or around 2 a.m. And like I said, the biggest concern to me is that people's properties are being damaged. That's a hard one for me to tell people is that, well, it's okay if your property gets damaged. You know, I can't do that. You know.
And realistically, even the 1 a.m. I mean, I've been out till 2 too in their establishment, and whether it's 1 or whatever, at the 1 o'clock closing, it's 1:30, 1:45 sometimes before you get everybody shuffled out of the bar or they get out of town, or, you know. Now you go with the 2 a.m., it might be, it's 2:30 or whatever, you know. Yeah, I think going back to 1 o'clock for the citywide is.
So I'm calling for a motion to deny the 2 a.m. renewal license for this year.
I make that motion.
There's a motion on the floor by Mike,
I'll second it.
second by Stephanie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously.
And I think we need to direct Nicole
I
to
think
get
it-
things in order, and
I
we
think
make
we
an
need to.
amendment to the ordinance.
Yeah. Why don't we, get a hold of our attorney, and get an ordinance drafted. Have to go through the public hearing. The ordinance change, we don't have to do a public hearing for an ordinance change.
I asked him, he said only on land issues.
Okay.
Do that right again, that's the 28th.
Okay. We have some department reports. If I'm not missing anything. Chief, did you have anything in particular?
Yes, I got my monthly report in front of you again.
Here, just put a chair up here for you.
Take a crown.
We'll get you a better one.
My monthly reports for the month of September, 118 calls for the month of September. October's 104, bringing us up to date of 1,093 calls. So it's been very busy, and it's another reason reference to the workload, what's generated from what goes on after 2. It's just, to me, it's unhealthy. Through this, there's nothing really scary, staggering. It's just our typical calls. They've all generated about 100 calls a month now. What's number of instances, for 2015 was 786 at this time, so it's increasing significantly. Jason has brought on extra work to reference the traffic stops, that kind of thing, but it's just the phone calls keep coming in to generate the ICRs and the caseload. So we're at 1,093.
The rental
I
ordinance
took the words
changes
right out of my
have been, beat to this
He
time.
did.
Is that
He did.
helped, or it's not really seeing an effect yet?
No, it actually does. It gives me a little bit of leverage to remind the owners of the property that we do have this in the books for them to clean up.
So you're still getting the complaints, but at least you have a way to deal with them, or not so much?
No, we don't have the complaints like we used to. The landowners know it's on the books now, so they try and fix it themselves and clean up before we have to get involved. So on that end, we're very lucky. Any questions for me?
Thanks, Chief. Fabio? Good evening, Bob. Good evening.
I guess this week, with the weather change coming, I'm gonna be putting the street sweeper away, getting the plows on, getting all that ready to go. We did the snow removal agreement last meeting with the state, procedure operation the same. The only thing I'm gonna look for is some chains for the plow truck, just to have, in case we do get a large, significant amount of ice, we can still do something. Christmas decorations going up next week. We're gonna be getting new bows from the Lions Club. They donated some money for the new bows, so freshen them up a little bit. And we did the site inspection last week with the engineer for the feasibility study on the trail.
Okay.
So we actually walked a significant amount of that trail that we're looking at, so.
Good.
He's gonna be working on that here in the next 6
Looks
months.
like there's some possibilities there.
Yeah, it looks
That's
really
what that
neat.
great pickup is? Say you have a great pickup?
No, we were just driving around the
Oh.
city truck, yeah. But yeah, there's some cool sites, so. And then as far as the electric, we did a small underground project by your house there and got that upgraded, so. Got the Essentia Health temporary electric more than likely this fall yet, and then one house.
Okay,
Other than that, all those projects are kinda wrapped up.
very good, Bobby.
Do we need to remind people of the no street parking with the snow showing
Yeah,
up?
I don't care if Eric could put something on the call, which was
One call,
helpful.
yep.
For the, I don't know if we plan on doing that again when we get a snow, it might be a good idea
Might
at
be a
that
good
time,
idea.
just to
We have it, we might as well use it.
freshen it up a little bit in people's minds, but it's not only just me having to go around it, it's the ridge that gets left with that parked car, and we just never get rid of that, so.
So Essentia Health will get going this fall yet, maybe?
I guess maybe Nicole could speak
They
on
had a
that.
contractors meeting today, actually, and they said sometime next week they're hoping. There's no promises, but that's kind of what they were shooting for.
Good. Good. Well, at least they have a contractor selected and they're ready to go.
Working through it, I think, yeah.
Good. Good. Everything else going okay, Bob?
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the initiative with that trail thing, and yeah.
Interesting.
Hopefully this weekend you won't have to plow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bobby. Nicole? Yeah, we need to, but we'll get
Bring him up.
We'll get him in. I want to get Chris up here too.
I don't really have too much to update. Just working through some things. Mystery.
Okay, business as usual.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Nicole.
Chris, fire department, how's things going, Chris?
Great.
Good.
Just here to support Eric.
Thank you, Chris.
The city talks about how fortunate they are to have him. You know, the department benefits from him as much as the city. But here's the page when we hear it, and he's always there first, so updating us on what's coming.
Very nice.
Being there with the medical part of it and taking care of saving people's lives. And last year was ice water rescue on Sullivan Lake. That was another one.
Yeah,
You know, it's
exactly.
just very, very fortunate to have him as part of our team too. So
Excellent. How's things going on the department, Chris?
good. We've got we actually had a couple reps in last practice for extrication for the grant that we received for the extrication crew. We had 2 different reps in for the equipment, so we're kind of working through that.
Good.
Getting new stuff picked out, what we're going to be doing there. So
Good. Thanks again, you guys, for taking the initiative to apply for those grants. I know that's something that you guys certainly wouldn't have to do. Fire department, I think, always takes pride in going out and trying to seek funding and for city and community projects equipment. And you guys have done a crack up job, and the amount of money that you've gotten, not only the city of Pierz, but surrounding communities that we cover. So
yeah, it's been
excellent job.
very fortunate with grants over the years. So
Yeah. And it takes the dedication from the members to go after it. So thanks a lot, Chris. Dan?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Golf course is asleep. Spray all the winter pesticides. Counters blow up.
I went around today when I got back, and I saw that the covers were on,
Yeah.
so.
Not, wouldn't like a cooler for the covers.
That's what I was
but
gonna say.
It should be okay. The yellow is our best months. The green is our poorest. So
Okay.
you can see in 2015 and 16.
Copy for Terry.
I do not. I can make
They
one. I'll get you one.
email me.
But as you can see, 2015 and 16, we didn't have any poor months. This is our revenues here, which the dark green is our best year, which was last year, we were short by 2,000 this year. So, it's not bad.
Oh, excellent.
Our green snow arrived last week, it's in the shed, so you should see the claims today. Pretty much shut down. I got a.
Did you get a chance to take it off, sample it?
No, it came without the reels.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So, I mean, we gotta condition our old reels and put it on this winter and stuff, so. I do have a list of, things to do this winter. I guess I'd like to go over with the park board, so.
Yeah,
we wanna
yeah, try and
set
get
up
another
every year,
meeting scheduled here.
First Monday in December work, or you guys pick a day and I'll make it work, so. December 5th, is we usually do it the first Mondays, but it doesn't
Yep.
matter to me.
Well, why don't we just try and get it at that day?
December 5th.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Let's try and get
We have a December.
We wanna meet up here.
December 6th meeting
Yeah.
going.
Or- Yeah, we'll do it here, there's no.
Workshop.
Any questions?
No.
I'll call park board members and schedule December 5th, 6 o'clock meeting at City Hall.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Nicole, can you drop these chairs, please?
Of course.
I can make some copies and give them to it. We have our claims for the month?
I think that's
I've got claims before you for some reason. Not that you're not important with it. It's not that you're not important, because with you, none of this works.
Do you want me to go?
Sure, if you wanted to, go ahead, Linda, that's fine.
The checkbook balance on October 31st was $1,039,085.40. And after the first of the year, Toby, when we do the transfers, we will look at
Money market?
Money market, yeah.
Very good. Anything else we got, Linda? Any CDs,
Nope,
anything like
nope,
that?
because almost every one of our CDs is in a 5-year plan.
Okay, very good. We will need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'm going to accept this treasurer's report.
Motion on the floor by Mary.
I'll second.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. Thank you, Linda. I'd also like to thank you, Linda, for the last several months of trying to work to balance our statement and everything. I know it was tough, and I know you, along with the
I was
girls.
just there.
You along with the girls.
Cheerleader.
You along with the girls put a lot of effort and time into that, and I really appreciate it, and I know the city council does as well, so thank you. We have some bills to pay, our claims. Do you have any question on the bills? If not, we'll need a motion to approve.
I move to approve the claims.
Motion on the floor by Mary,
I'll second that.
second by Don. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. Anybody else have anything? If not, we'll need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Motion on the floor by Mary to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously. Thank you, everybody.
Sounds quick on that, Mary.
Yeah, he was kind of waiting for that.
Hey, Nicole, copies of the pictures that you took in your phone?
Of course, I can